There's this filmmaker that I really love. His name's Kyle Nutt, and he posts these photographs and short videos, short films. And he basically made the short film called Love Then versus Now, which is the whole thing is him cutting through these frames of him going on a date, but in two different times. Like there's one which is in a real life modern world where it's dark, he's in his room, there's only a phone light on him and he's swiping on Tinder, and it right cuts to him putting his hand out on a date and them two connecting, like touching each other and actually finding that connect, looking into each other's eyes, sitting in a diner in one corner where it's lit up. And then the whole point is them cutting through that and reaching to a point where it's just nothingness, where it's just like there's a sense of genuinity in this fad of evolving. I don't even call it fad, but in this pursuit of evolving, that we have lost connection. Like we have lost genuine connection. Like there's another kind of satisfaction that you get out of playing board games, sitting in one corner of a cafe with a bunch of friends, rather than it is sitting in your house watching something on Netflix or swiping away on a dating app or consuming something that is not going to add to your day. And it's weirdly tying into all the other aspects of today, whether it's loneliness, whether it's people wanting to reach out for help, whether it's competitiveness and unhealthy competitiveness, comparison, vain. I mean, it can go on and on. But like, because there is plus side of the evolving, there is now people like, you see people using AI and VR, and after using the Vision Pro, and there's one doctor who conducted proper surgery using the Vision Pro and all of that. And all of that is kind of mask these things, and that is what is going to push corporations to go further and evolve more and more and more, which I feel like this is going to be a brain river right now, where I believe like there needs to be a community or a corporation or something which gets you back to the way things should be in terms of human connect, not technological connection.
Right.
Very human. Like there's this scene, if you remember Avengers Endgame, there's this scene where, and it's so, I don't know, it's a very, very overlooked scene. Like right before the whole Thanos snap happens, these guys the whole New York is bustling, everybody's about their whole lives and everything. Once half the population gets wiped, suddenly just in that rehab place with Captain America, 5 of the people just come and just discuss what and it's like a broken up underground shack where 5 people every day of the week come for rehab and come to discuss what they are actually feeling. Now they are not in the hustle and bustle, and it's like a 3-minute scene, and that scene has so much impact because the way like I interpreted it is that you didn't actually cherish or be grateful for all this stuff when you were running around streets of New York, when your life was something that's completely unrelated to what Endgame was and the whole point and the whole plot. But that's what that scene called out to be, genuine human connection. And I feel like very, very synonymous to it was COVID. You felt people connect more. Skies were clear, roads were empty, people went down to pick up groceries.
Right.
People sanitized their hands.
People were together.
Families were together.
Families were together.
There was so much attempt to
There
reach
were
out.
weekly video calls, no matter which part of the world families are in. Otherwise, then where's the time? Otherwise, no one has the time to do anything like that.
And that sense of human connection is what I feel is purest. And I don't think we need just a calamity to realize that, because reach out to those people who you haven't spoken to in years. Reach out to your colleagues, reach out to the people who maybe you have had a grudge with, or forgive. And the biggest thing, what I feel like in this stage of consumerism, I want to use the word capitalism, but it's true. There's never enough. And that sense of feeling that there is enough is, again, going to jump back to what we spoke about before the camera started rolling. Was Japan. I mean, that place is beyond comprehension.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a child seeing a completely new world.
No, I feel like it also seems like a very evolved society. I have not been to Japan, but from what I've heard and what I've read, like I've read about Tyson and I've read about the school culture there. I have a friend who went to university in Japan. So I had an intense discussion with him about the life and society there, and very organized, very structured, lot of discipline. They also have a lot of fun. It's not like they're a boring society. They're like really into gaming. But I don't know, it just feels very different. I don't think it's as rat racy as the world is. Somewhere I feel Japan has that little bit of a cultural edge that they have retained. You know, what I feel is that if you see societies and countries across the world today, in the name of modernity, they have just gone and adopted Westernism, not retaining their natural sort of spirit, you know. And when I say that for our country as well. I feel like for a lot of years, there was just Westernism in the name of modernity. Now there is a shift, maybe, which is slightly little bit of a cultural revolution, where people are now realizing the value of yoga and ashwagandha, and you know what I'm saying, after America's tripped over it. But Japan has retained that cultural
from the start.
Significance, yeah.
I feel like visiting that place, and I feel like I want to go back there again for another trip, is because you would always feel like you're the same. You're there. Like you won't feel you're above someone or in stature, or you're below someone. Everybody from the cab drivers to the hotel receptionist to the random person on the street. I mean, dude, there was a guy. We obviously, the language there, biggest language barrier in terms of us not knowing Japanese, us struggling with Google Translate. We go up to, you know, the main ticket counter on one of the stations, and we're struggling. Nobody's like there on the station because I think it was post the hours of them working. This one guy very, very like was zoned into wherever he was going, and he stops and he spoke English, and he was like, okay, where do you need to go? He saw it, he checked it, he came with us to drop us to the platform. He waited for the train to come, saw us get on the train, have a safe trip, and then he went about his day.
Wow.
That is what I was missing for 22 years of my life.
Yeah. No, that's beautiful, man.
Because, dude, like for us, it's alien to even think, because, you know, before you would give your trust into a random person's hands or whatever to take you somewhere, it's like 1 to a million in this city or this country.
Yeah.
But there, you could just let go of your being. And I feel I recently stumbled upon there's this YouTuber, his name's PewDiePie. I don't know if you've heard. So he shifted to Japan.
T-Series versus
PewDiePie. And he shifted to Japan a few years ago. And
he did?
He shifted to Japan and he lives there now. And
wow.
he puts out these vlogs.
He's from Sweden, no?
He's from Sweden, yeah. And he puts out these vlogs. His vlogs are equivalent to the definition of peace.
Oh, wow.
Like, you wouldn't sit and you would just take in the culture that he's showing, whether it's through like a bunch of friends enjoying a meal in one corner of the house, or the minimalism in their infrastructure, or the technology that they have. They have finesse in technology. It's not out there. They have finesse in technology in the sense of like, it's old school. Your website is going to look like it's from like 2005, but functionality.
Right.
Dude, we are not going to put a plaster or cloak on something. We're not going to put that extra riffraff, but we are going to deliver on what we said that we will.
Understood.
And the only thing is that we as human beings, because we've been living in day and age where we're like, okay, what's next? What's the next best thing? What do we figure out now? We've never enjoyed the current moment.
Right.
And that, I don't know, it always feels like there's something in that way of living. I always feel like there's this void that comes in. Because there people were content, and people were content in so many ways, whether it's financially, whether it's just what they're doing, whether it's in regards to their culture, all of it.